Hey everybody, in this lesson I'm going to show you a cool way that you can practice arpeggios using the harmonised major scale. If you're new around here and you want a structured guide to learning jazz guitar, then please check out my free beginner jazz guitar guide. If you want the PDF that goes with this lesson, then please check out my Patreon page and you can get the full PDF. So for the purpose of today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the harmonised major scale in the key of C. If you do not know that already, then that's something that you definitely want to go and check out. So you should be able to know that the first degree is C major, second is D minor, third E minor, fourth F major 7, G7, A minor, B minor 7 flat 5 and C major 7. I'd first like to show you how you can map out these arpeggios on the top 3 strings of the guitar. To begin with, I'm just going to show you the formula using a C major 7th chord. So the formula that we're going to be using is Ru, 3rd, 5th, 7th. We're going to ascend up the arpeggio, come back down again, and then fall to the 7th of the arpeggio. So Ru, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, Ru, 7. We're going to continue that pattern for all the arpeggios. So that's for D minor 7, for E minor 7, same thing. The reason why I've decided to use this specific grouping of intervals is because it gives you 8 notes in a bar, right? So when you're playing this, you can play 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that keeps the arpeggio exercise flowing. Okay, the most important thing when you first start to learn this is to play it nice and evenly to make sure you've got no gaps and you keep it going. And then you go all the way up the neck using that formula. So you basically got 4 different chord types within that, right? You've got the major 7, minor 7, you've got the dominant 7, and then you've got a minor 7 flat 5. And with those 4 shapes, you should be able to play all up and down the neck for the arpeggios that belong to the harmonised C major scale. The next way that you can practice arpeggios is to play them up and down the fingerboard as well. So you can do this in position. So for example, if we take this C major scale right there, we can continue the exercise right here. So we can go up a major 7 arpeggio, D minor 7, E, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, and so on. And that's a good way to develop dexterity across the strings as well. What you'll find with that particular fingering is when you've done 1 octave, say the last one there would have been a B half diminished, that's when you come to this horizontal position again. So that's the same shape that I was telling you about a minute ago. So beyond the low strings, that doesn't really work too well because you end up just kind of going up the neck anyway. But you can do 2 octaves in which you start by playing the lower octave arpeggios. And then you start to move into to complete the 2nd octave. So you can do that in all 5 different positions of the major scale up and down the neck to gain knowledge about how these arpeggios look. So when you're improvising over a 2-5-1 in C, you'll know where all these chord tones are. So if you need to play a D minor 7 arpeggio, G7 arpeggio, C major 7 arpeggio, then you've got all the notes available. And if you do the exercise, then you should know where they are in all positions of the neck. So the next position, D minor 7 arpeggio, G7 arpeggio, and then a C major 7 arpeggio. I hope that exercise helps you out of arpeggios and it gets you familiar with them. I really recommend doing that for all 5 positions of 1 scale and then ultimately using a few different keys as well. Ideally all 12 keys should be repeated with that process.